Welcome to Everyday Parenting, a down to earth podcast presented by Bricks and Blocks Coaching. Tune in as we dive into the real life experiences of parents, from the joys to the challenges they face while building beautiful memories with their children. If you like our concept of sharing real life experiences, please follow and subscribe to our show. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and share our content with other parents. Check the episode description for additional resources and more information about this episode. We are here with two new moms today. They are young moms with less than 6-month-old children, and we are here to listen to their experiences of parenting. Hi Ray, hi Sowjanya, how are you doing today?
Hi, Swetha. We're good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, hi Swetha. Doing really good. Thanks.
Would you like to introduce yourself as a mother?
Okay,
Go ahead, Chris.
I'll go first. I think I'm the newest mom on the block, so putting a pun on that. So my baby's just 6 weeks old, so I'm extremely sleep deprived. My name is Ray, of course, and like learning the ropes 1 week at a time. Every day seems very different. We're both. So I'm a working mom, and my husband's also working. So we are, we're living with our parents at the moment. So we have help, but it's quite interesting take right now that I'm finally a mother to understand you may have help, but your baby dictates how your first few weeks can go. So that's me.
Hey Sauji.
So I'm Sowjanya. I have a 6 months old baby boy. I think a little older in the face than Ray a bit. I'm a working mom as well.
Does it get better as the baby becomes 6-month-old?
I would
That's a
say
very
yes.
good question.
Yes.
Ah,
So that's
hope
a
is on
good
the
hope for you,
horizon.
Ray. Yes.
Yes.
I think in my experience, after 2 months, it gets pretty better. I mean, it's going to get better and better and better. So yeah, you're almost on the verge, Ray. 2 more weeks
Yeah,
for you to head that.
Thank you. I also say I agree with you. I feel like I'm sleeping a bit more every single day, and I think that's a testament that it'll get better soon. So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to the earlier stages, right? That the day your baby was born. So what were the thoughts in your mind?
I was I think this is something that everyone talks about. It's like we're coming home, right? We were like, okay, you can take the baby, and then we had a car, so we got the car seat and everything, and we were just strapping the baby in, and we realized how small the baby is, and the person was literally like, okay, it's all, you're set, the baby looks fine, you can go now. And I remember she was strapped in and we were going home, and it was so bumpy in the car, right? And I was just thinking to myself, and just like, what's gonna happen now if she starts crying? Because in the hospital, if she starts crying, I had a button to press, and then they will come and then they'll take her to the nursery, and all is well. But now it was like I was so nervous to like take back home this little precious life, and now I have to take care of it all by myself. So I was like super nervous, and then everything is super nice, because then you get home, everybody's like really excited to meet the child. But then when this first cry starts, I was super nervous, and then it just slowly built from there. So yeah.
What happened when the first cry started?
You had in my head, I had like an equipment. Check the nappy, see if she's hungry, try to rock her to sleep. Like literally, I was going through the checklist, and then so we do all of this, and I was like frantically trying to like get her back to sleep or to calm her down. And my baby girl had a very unique way of crying. You know how, I don't know, babies have this melodious cries that you hear. Mine just had like a one that's like, it sounds like a cough. And so I was just like really, really trying to get her to calm down. But yeah, it was, and then she does, right? But the thing about when they, at least in the newborn stages, it's so short. You may calm her down, and it's literally 10 minutes later, it starts all over again. And the sleep is I just feel like life was like Skittle farms. Everything was just like little bites, and it just didn't last long. And in the beginning, you have so much energy, and you have like, oh, it's so precious, and you're just so raring to go. So you're like, but yeah, so I remember I had the energy levels to match up to the 10 minutes and the constant So yeah, it was really exciting times. Like I remember it was so precious to look at, so cute. Afraid that I was gonna break her neck, so I was like all the time my arms were like in correct position. I felt like I was doing squats the whole time, that kind of like proper form. But then slowly you get tired. But yeah, it was the first few days was just like on guard. Like I felt like I had a responsibility to do, I had to get it right. But yeah, so just like doing the same thing, feeding, changing, and trying to put her to sleep, like clockwork. Yeah.
Sauji, do you even remember the first day?
I do. So I'm just trying to recollect while Ray was explaining how the first day, our first time experience was. I'm just trying to recollect how I felt. So
Yeah.
I think the moment the baby came out, they gave it to me, right? I was happy at the same time. I was still very unsure or that I became a mom. Is this my baby? So those kind of things were going on. I still couldn't believe myself that it's my baby already. That was a thing going on. And I think initial first day it was super fine. We were in the hospital. I think it was a normal delivery, so baby was doing fine. I was doing fine. The second day when we reached home, I think that's when it kind of when they was explaining, right, the cry, I could still think of the same, because the second day when we reached home, after reaching home, baby started crying. I mean, not immediately, but yeah, at night sometimes he started crying and he wouldn't calm down so soon. We were thinking, is it because of sleep or hungry, because he was constantly latching on me. So I was thinking, yeah, he's feeling fine, so he should be okay. But only after like fourth day during the regular visit with the doctor, because typically in Singapore we get that fourth day visit, right, to check jaundice. That's when we realized, okay, he lost weight than usual. I think he lost 11% of the weight. Usually the 7% is allowed. 7% is like normal. Everyone will lose weight because of the water in the body and all will reduce by fourth day. 7 to 8% is normal, but he lost like 11%. So doctors were like, he was dehydrated. So I think all the cry that he was doing over the days, like when he was not latching on me, I think it was because he was hungry. So that is what we realized on the fourth day when we went to the doctor. So it was a little shocking. But yeah, that night we spent at the hospital for the phototherapy. And doctor asked me to completely feed him the formula, so that by morning, so that was a target given to me. Like throughout the night, she gave me certain ml to feed him. And by morning, I had to finish it.
Ray, how do you prepare for these experiences, the first few days of the baby? How do you prepare for it?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, because I remember, I think I've even shared it to one of my friends, or maybe it have been you. I wish there was a course while we were pregnant to go through this, because it felt so overwhelming. I had no clue. I was just guessing my way, and my husband had a phone, and Google was our best friend. Everything we had, we were like, is this normal? What do we do when like the diaper, when we're cleaning it, the butt is a little bit red? What do we do? Is that normal? What levels of red is normal? So we were literally like trying to get the help of the internet, asking as much as we can to people around us. In the initial days, like I said earlier, I only had 3 things in my mind, which was, it could be the nappy, it could be that she's hungry, or it could be that she's really tired. I mean, it was really interesting that the things that we read is the baby could be tired but couldn't sleep, and since she gets overtired and then she would sleep more. But we were trying to put her to sleep, right? So it just felt like there were so many things that were just not adding up. And it was really like on the job training kind of thing, just like try to stay afloat.
Yeah, I know. So the first week can be quite something. Yeah. But Sauji, your experience has been really not the normal. Like, at least we had our children at home. So I'm assuming Ray also had her child at home. So how do you prepare yourself for the baby going through all of this in a hospital environment?
So he was only there in the hospital for one night, I would say. So that night we did not expect that actually. And this, when I look back, I think maybe I delivered in Singapore. all we had, so we had a helper, and my sister came in, but it's not like experience. We did not have that experienced elder mothers who can guide. So I actually felt having them close by maybe it could have helped in our scenario at least, because it ultimately it was feeding, right? Hadn't the baby lost like 11%, I wouldn't have gone through any of this as far I felt. So had I realized that cry was because of hunger, which I did not, or of course waved in, I tied everything to it.
Must have been quite a stressful experience.
Yes, I think in the hospital also, when we admitted him for the jaundice and the blue light therapy, that night was super stressful, I think. And that was the fourth continuous night after delivery that I didn't sleep, kind of. The previous 2 nights I was sleeping a bits and pieces, but that night it was like zero sleep in the hospital. And one of the reasons was doctors were trying to put him under blue light therapy, but since when we were admitting him, he was having slight body temperature, like 38 degrees centigrade, and they assumed it to be fever. And fever in such young babies is very dangerous.
Okay. So, like given this experience of yours right now,
Mhm.
going back, like Ray, you
Mhm.
mentioned, like, she's mentioning going, if parents were here, it would have been better. But you mentioned that, having parents also doesn't help.
Yes, sorry. No, it wasn't so much like it wasn't the help wasn't around, but when the baby decides that you're the only safe space because can only recognize you at that early age, it can get tricky because you may have all the help around you, but when the only thing that it can recognize is you're just like, okay, stuck on, and you're like, okay, I want to make sure that she doesn't cry and she's not in pain, or so I did the opposite of what Saji did. While the initial few days the crying was little, within days later it came to a point now that she doesn't go to anybody, that attachment to mommy, then to going to parents or to any, I'm not sure whether I have now questions, had I not done the over the top latching, have I done it too much now, that now the baby doesn't want to go to anyone, it's very having a separation anxiety, that she doesn't recognize other people, she doesn't want to go to mom, grandma, grandpa, I mean not for too long, and then starts crying all the time, only wants to be held by mom and dad. I honestly think that it's not that help is always good, because when I talk to my friends with my peers or someone else who've had babies, and it's very traditional, especially in Asian culture, to have your mother or your mother-in-law with you, and they would really help in the child upbringing, right? My in-laws, unlike you, did come. They came on the 4th day and they spent a whole week with us, and my mother and father were here, so the house was filled with people, and I just wanted nothing to do with anybody, and I just wanted to cry, because I just was like, I am not able to handle all these people, and everybody wants to hold the baby, everybody wants to like take care, and like they want to calm her down too, and everybody, you want to make memories, right? But then it would agitate the child, and it would just literally be, I would have given the child 5 minutes, and I was thinking, okay, they will be fine, and it'll literally be like 10 minutes and the baby's crying, and they would hand it back, and I would have to go and get settled into the chair, and then do all the setup and get dressed for it, and then I just wish I could just hide in this room and I would just get food and I would be just fine, and I'll just like make sure that I will take care of the baby. So I found it really overwhelming that I had all these people, I had all these traditional sort of help, but it didn't seem to help too much, because the baby had a unique experience, right? Because she wanted a certain something, and only maybe at that point only I could provide. So I think, yeah, I everyone is just different. We'll go back to that same
Yeah,
unique.
every experience is really, really different, right? Okay,
Very
so we're
Yeah.
coming to the end of the podcast. So my last question is, if you could go back in time and do this differently, what would you have done differently?
I think one thing, I think I was mentioning, right, feeding. Maybe I would have latched on continuously as we have done. I'm not sure if it's gonna work in my case or not. So I mean, I did latch on for longer hours. I am not denying that. I've done like hours and hours, not 6, 7 hours together for sure. At least hour and a half I've done, not more than that. But maybe I would have done longer. It could have helped establish the flow later. Then second thing, if that was not working still after a week or 10 days probably, then I would have maybe topped up with formula like in the beginning. Initially I started with an idea that I should not top up with formula at all. I wanted to breastfeed the baby 100%. So that was one thing I started with. So, but later, as I said, I had to start formula because doctors have recommended it. Nothing is more than baby's growth and health. So yeah.
What would you have done differently, Ray?
I think I would have to tell you the same answer, so, Swetha. Like, I feel that going back, remembering exactly how I felt, and at that moment I remember asking parents or checking with the internet. The only thing that made sense, I think I've already gone down that path. So I think even if I had gone back, I think I would have done exactly the same and probably ended up in the same situation, because I have, we tried, because at the moment I feel like so maybe because Sauji's 6 months in and I'm still very fresh in this like experience. I do remember every day telling my husband, like, I will do whatever it takes to calm her down, or like sometimes I would do whatever it takes to make sure she's happy. And I remember I tried the 15 minutes and I stopped, and the crying seemed louder, and I was like, okay, it's not going to work. So I would do the longer hours, and I tried the rocking and the bouncing to a point. It's really funny now. If it's funny that I'll tell you. I don't know how the experience is out for. If you ask me, in this household, what we do 90% of the time to rock the child is all of us get on the bouncing ball, the yoga ball, we hold her and we rock on the ball. We just jump in all the time, and that sets her to sleep, or that calms her down. And it's a running joke now that she made you do the exercise before and she got into the habit, and now she wants the same thing again. If you ask me if I go back, I'll tell you maybe I would have discovered the ball on day one, and I would have rocked her from day one on the bouncing ball. Because, I think we would, as mothers, I think we would have tried every single thing, whatever it takes, we would have done it. And going back in time, and even if you repeated it 1,000 times, I think we would have probably gone down the same path.
It's like during your pregnancy, train your baby to calm down.
Yes, I don't know. Don't do any exercise. Just sleep on the bed. I wouldn't recommend that, because I know being active is supposedly good. So I don't know.
No. I think just to add there, right? Rocking, I think every baby loves. I think even my son, he would sleep only when he was rocked. So yeah, we used to do it, and my husband was doing that as well along with me. So he just holds the baby and rocks him in the hands, moves around in the hallways and in the room at night. So yeah, he was a super support in doing all those to me during that time.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, thank you so much for sharing your first few weeks experiences with your new babies. Let's catch up again sometime for another topic. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.